Hey guys, welcome back to TTMR. We're back with me, Sean, and Austin, and today we will be reviewing the newest entry into the MCU, Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania, directed by Peyton Reed, the same man who directed the first two Ant-Man films.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania follows the story of Scott, Cassie, Hank, Hope, and Janet as they are all trapped in the quantum realm due to a signal sent down to it. In the quantum realm, Janet is forced to be reminded about the formal time that she had spent there and is forced to finally open up about some of her experiences in the quantum realm and the dangers that lie there. Separated from everyone else for most of the movie, Scott and Cassie are thrown into these experiences completely new, and their naivety and inexperience eventually leads to their capture by King the Conqueror, who wants to escape the quantum realm he was banished to and fulfill his destiny as a conqueror. Once brought back together and becoming more accustomed to the quantum realm and the threat of Kang, everybody must work together and try and defeat an almost unbeatable foe.
I personally liked the movie up until the end. It just didn't make any sense. Ants suddenly becoming extremely advanced in an hour because of quote-unquote time dilation is just complete nonsense, and just feels like a rushed way to make the heroes easily win. I also really don't like the way that they finished off with the movie. I feel that the last shot wasn't satisfying enough to end the movie because it ended off way too suddenly and left the ending of the movie almost entirely dependent on how good the post-credit scenes were. The post-credit scenes were definitely interesting and did their job of setting up future movies and shows, but definitely weren't the best I've ever seen from Marvel. Overall, I liked the movie but felt it could have been a lot better. However, I don't think it's the worst Marvel could have put out to kick off Phase 5 of the MCU.
I want to start off by saying I really wanted to love this movie, but I just can't. I don't hate it, but it's just mediocre. My first thought is that killing MODOK was absolutely batshit crazy. This is one of the biggest issues that I have with the MCU. They love to kill off all of their villains. Before going into this movie, I decided to read some of the comics featuring MODOK, and wow, he is strong as hell. They desaturated and ruined his character in this movie. MODOK's powers go as followed: psychic abilities enabling him to contact others through telepathy, mentally control individuals or large groups, and generate force fields strong enough to withstand minor nuclear explosions. How the hell are you gonna kill him off the way you did? It was one of the biggest cop-out deaths in the MCU. Another thing that really bugged me was the complete omission of the set rules we know for the quantum realm. The movie is 2 hours long, so we can assume they spent at least 2 hours in there. As mentioned in Avengers Endgame, 1 quantum hour is equal to 1 Earth year, so theoretically, 2 years should have passed since they entered the quantum realm at the start of the film. Was no one aware of Scott or Hope's whereabouts? Did anyone even care? How come this oversight was even present in the film? We've had 3 other movies make a big deal about this. How can a director not mention this? It could also have been just a simple thing as just saying 2 years later once they got out.
I was caught in a weird place when I was about to see this movie. I thought the trailers looked really good due to the incredible visuals and what looked to be a very compelling story, but then the ratings came in and I couldn't help but be worried. I watched it and I gotta say I can't exactly say this film was as good as I originally expected it to be, but I don't believe it exactly fits in line with the low score it got from critics. I mean, the CGI this time around really impressed me and was actually really consistent. There was only one scene in particular, the one where Cassie first shrinks down and is running, that really made me step back because of how janky it looked. The general theme of the quantum realm and all the cool colors and environments really provided a unique experience, and I think Marvel did a wonderful job when it came to that. All in all, it was just nice to see overall consistency again in the visuals, even if everything didn't look as nice as it could have.
The CGI in this movie was pretty darn good, with a lot of the visual effects looking great, which I would hope considering most of the movie has to be effects anyway. I also have to give credit to the rest of the movie before the ending, because I feel the first 2 acts were great. Overall, this film did a decent job of starting off Phase 5 of the MCU, and has me looking forward to seeing the rest of what's to come. The recast for Cassie was definitely a good decision as well, as the new actress played her extremely well.
Even with all my major gripes on this movie, there are still good qualities, some of these being the setup of Kang, the acting, and the overall meaning of this film. This film sets Kang up to be one of the most satisfying villains we've ever seen in the MCU to date. The performances shown in this film by Jonathan Majors, Michael Douglas, and Kathryn Newton were really well done. Speaking of Michael Douglas, Hank Pym was easily my favorite character besides Kang. He made jokes that actually made us laugh. He was a believable and well-written character, and he came in clutch at the end with his army of ants, even if that was kinda stupid. This film is also the start of an entirely new era of Marvel, so it holds more significance than not.
Overall, this film definitely had some things going for it, but it certainly had its issues. After comparing the good and bad of this movie, Max rated this with a 7 out of 10, and both Austin and I rated this film with an 8 out of 10, which averages out for the overall score of 76.7%. Considering the poor qualities of this film compared to its positives, the score definitely fits the overall quality of the movie. There were some things in this movie that we thought were done right, like the visuals, acting, early story, and some of the writing, but some others like the downgrade of MODOK and some inconsistencies in the characters and the story as the film progressed, ultimately led it to be a pretty divided movie.
Overall, the three of us have different things we like and dislike about this movie, but we can all agree we would rate it around a similar score. With all the good and bad qualities we have mentioned up until now, it's fair to say that this movie is neither great nor awful, it's just a decent film. If you have been thinking about watching this movie, we would recommend it as it's going to play a huge role within the next few years of the MCU.
So with that being said, that has been a review of Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania. Remember that this is just our opinion, so you don't necessarily have to believe everything that is said here.
Come back soon for more reviews or browse existing ones on the channel. Make sure to check out our Twitter for sneak peeks and updates on future projects.
We hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and if you enjoyed, you can like and subscribe to help us out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.